Very good morning, students. Yesterday we have discussed about properties of haloalkanes, especially nucleophilic substitution reactions, and at the last point of time we were discussing about optical isomerism in case of haloalkane compounds. In case of optical isomerism, we need to discuss about optical isomerism in haloalkanes. As I mentioned earlier, we will come across with the two important mechanisms, SN1 as well as SN2 mechanism. In order to understand the stereochemical part of SN1 and SN2 reactions, so it is mandatory to go with the optical isomerism. Yesterday I have briefly introduced about optical isomerism and what type of compounds are called as optically active compounds. If any compound rotates the plane polarized light towards the right side or left side, then that compound is said to be optically active compound, and it is said to exhibit optical isomerism. Whether all type of organic compounds exhibit optical isomerism? No, 100% it is not possible, because there are some conditions. If any compound satisfies those conditions, then that compound is said to exhibit optical isomerism. Even we have studied about geometrical isomerism in class 11. To exhibit geometrical isomerism also, the compound must satisfy some conditions. Like that, there are some conditions to exhibit optical isomerism by the organic molecules. Yesterday we have discussed about the one condition to exhibit optical isomerism. Today we will continue with that. Conditions to exhibit optical isomerism. So what are the condition? First condition yesterday I mentioned, the compound or the molecule must contain one or more, it must contain one or more chiral carbon atom. Wherever the chiral carbon atoms are present, then those compounds may exhibit. It does not mean that any compound containing chiral carbon atom is said to exhibit optical isomerism. That is absolutely incorrect statement. So if the molecule if it is containing one or more chiral carbon atom, then it is said to exhibit optical isomerism, but it is not the condition to exhibit that optical isomerism. So what is the meaning of chiral carbon atom? Yesterday I mentioned about this one. Chiral or asymmetric carbon atom. Chiral or asymmetric carbon atom. So if you take the molecule CH, this is H, next one this is H, this is simple methane molecule where carbon atom is surrounded by 4 similar hydrogen atom. If any 2 similar or more than 2 similar atoms or group of atoms are present, so this carbon atom is not said to be chiral carbon atom. Instead of that one, it is said to be a chiral carbon atom. On the other hand, if the molecule contains, if the compound is having carbon, this is, you can say, hydrogen, next one is a chlorine, next one is a bromine, next one is going to be fluorine. If the compound is having 4 different, carbon is having 4 different, bromine is different, chlorine is different, hydrogen is different, fluorine is different. So in this molecule, carbon is bonded to 4 different atoms or group of atoms. So this carbon atom is said to be what? Chiral carbon atom. So what is chiral carbon atom? A carbon atom which is bonded to 4 different atoms or group of atoms. Even if 2 atoms are found to be same, if 3 atoms are same, then it is not said to be chiral or asymmetric, it is said to be a chiral carbon atom. This compound never exhibits optical isomerism, but this compound may exhibit optical isomerism because it contains chiral carbon atom. So what is chiral carbon atom? Once again, very simple. Any carbon atom which is bonded to 4 different atoms or group of atom, it is said to be chiral or asymmetric carbon atom. So the total number of optical isomers also depends upon the total number of chiral carbon atoms in the molecule. We will come to that point. So number of optical isomers depends upon the total number of chiral carbon atom present in the molecule. This is the first condition to exhibit optical isomerism. So what is the second condition? Second condition is that the compound should not have plane of symmetry. plane of symmetry. Compound should not have plane of symmetry, POS, or the center of symmetry. Center of symmetry, that is COS. The compound should not have the plane of symmetry or the center of symmetry. Wherever the organic molecules which do not contain this plane of symmetry or center of symmetry, then those compounds exhibit optical isomerism. So in addition to the presence of chiral carbon atom, the molecule should not have such type of plane of symmetry, or it is said to be what? The center of symmetry. So wherever if any compound contains plane of symmetry or center of symmetry, then that compound is said to be optically inactive compound. So we'll go with some of the example to understand about these two conditions, that is presence of chiral carbon atom, and second one, the compound should not have this plane of symmetry or center of symmetry. If you go with some example here, first example I will consider here. First example, that is the molecule of lactic acid. Lactic acid, one of the common example for optical isomerism, lactic acid. So this compound having the formula CH3CHCOOH, and this is found to be OH. What's the IUPAC name of this compound? It is 2-hydroxypropanoic acid. Now what is the total number of carbon atoms in this molecule? Total number of carbon atoms are found to be 3. 1, 2, 3. This carbon atom is not a chiral because same hydrogen atoms are present. This carbon atom is said to be chiral carbon atom because it is attached to different group, and this carbon atom is also not chiral because it is having sp2 hybridization. Yesterday I mentioned about presence of sp3 hybridization is necessary to exhibit this chiral nature or particular chiral carbon atom. Now if you consider this compound, it is said to exhibit optical isomerism because this compound satisfies the first condition because it contains chiral carbon atom, and this compound should not have, this compound does not contain plane of symmetry or center. Plane of symmetry means the compound which produces two equal halves. Any particular compound which produces two equal halves, it is said to be having plane of symmetry. Suppose if I go with some general examples, alphabet A, whether it is having a plane of symmetry, yes, it can be cleaved into two equal halves. It is having plane of symmetry. When there is a presence of plane of symmetry, the compound is not exhibiting optical isomerism. Even though whether it contains chiral carbon atom or chiral nature is present or absent, but this condition is going to be very, very important. If the compound is having plane of symmetry, it is said to, that compound does not exhibit optical isomerism. So this molecule is said to be optically inactive substance. If you go with the letter B having same this one upper and lower, now this is having plane of symmetry, whether you take vertical or horizontal, so it should not produce two equal halves. This molecule is having plane of symmetry, it is also said to be optically inactive. Like that, if you go with some different types of objects, so all those, suppose if I go with the letter Q, whether letter Q is having plane of symmetry, letter Q, whether if you are going in vertical direction or it is going to be in horizontal, it cannot produce two equal halves. When this molecule does not produce two equal halves, this particular substance does not contain plane of symmetry. When plane of symmetry is not present, this compound exhibits optical isomerism. Concentrate carefully. Wherever there is a presence of plane of symmetry, the compound is said to be optically inactive. Whenever the compound does not contain plane of symmetry, it is said to be optically active compound. This particular compound is said to be exhibiting optical isomer. It is said to be optically active compound. Now coming on to this example of lactic acid, 2-hydroxypropanoic acid. This is chiral carbon atom at the center. This one is said to be what? COOH. Next one is found to be what? CH3. This is OH, and this one is found to be H. Now the central carbon atom, wherever such type of asterisk sign is there, usually it shows the presence of chiral carbon atom. Now this is the carbon atom with asterisk sign, chiral carbon atom. It is having 4 different groups, so this carbon atom is chiral carbon atom. Now another important thing is that when this compound, in front of this compound, if you place a mirror, What is the mirror image of this particular compound? The mirror image of this compound OH, this is H, and next OH, and next one is going to be CH3. So this compound is a mirror image of the corresponding first compound. So this is commonly called as D-lactic acid. It is commonly called as D-lactic acid, and this compound is said to be L-lactic acid. Generally, by seeing this structure, it is not possible to identify the D isomer or L isomer. Yesterday I mentioned about D or L isomer. D refers to what? Dextrorotatory, and L refers to what? Levorotatory. This one rotates the plane polarized light towards the right side. This one rotates the DPL towards the left side. You can say this one is going to be L or D. If this is going to be D, this one will be L. If this is going to be L, this becomes what? D isomer. So here, by seeing this structure, it is not possible to identify D or L isomer. You can say either this one a D or this is L. If this becomes L, this becomes what? D isomer. So totally, one of the compound is going to be dextro and another particular mirror image is going to be levorotatory compound. So these two are the mirror images of each other. So this compound is said to be optically active compound, and one condition, it contains chiral carbon atom as I have mentioned. Second condition is that it does not contain plane of symmetry. You cannot produce two equal halves if you are moving in any particular direction. Whether you can cleave the molecule vertically or if you cleave the molecule horizontally, two equal halves cannot be produced. When two equal halves are not produced in this case, so this compound does not contain plane of symmetry or center of symmetry. Means very clear. Center of symmetry refers to if the particular atoms or group of atoms are present in opposite direction at equivalent distance. So similar atoms or group of atoms are present at equivalent distance, okay, in opposite direction. If two or more similar atoms or group of atoms are present at equivalent distance in opposite direction, then the compound is said to exhibit center of symmetry. So to exhibit optical isomerism, the compound should not contain either plane of symmetry or this particular center of symmetry. If any one plane of symmetry or center of symmetry is exhibited by that molecule, then the compound becomes optically inactive compound and it does not show optical isomerism. So this is the one simple example of lactic acid, which contains one chiral carbon atom as I mentioned here, and this compound does not contain any plane of symmetry or center of symmetry. So this compound is the best example for optical isomerism. Then later on we will find out the number of optical isomers exhibited by the compound, whether it shows 2 optical isomers or 3 optical isomers. Number of optical isomers we can find out based on one simplest formula. Next, so one thing is very clear now. To exhibit optical isomerism, the compound should contain chiral carbon atom, and second condition, the compound should not have plane of symmetry or center of symmetry. If I go with another example, this is the molecule CH3, this is CH, this one is CH and CH3. This is chlorine and this one is going to be bromine. What is the name of this compound? It's a 2-bromo-3-chlorobutane. 2-bromo-3-chlorobutane. What is the total number of chiral carbon atoms and whether this compound is optically active or optically inactive? Now this carbon atom contains 3 hydrogen atom, it is not a chiral. This carbon atom also contains 3 similar hydrogen atom, it is not chiral. This carbon atom is chiral because all the atoms or group of atoms are different. Similarly, this is also chiral carbon atom. When the compound is having 2 chiral carbon atoms, then usually there is a possibility of 4 optical isomers. It is total number of optical isomers is 2 to the power of n. Here n is a number of chiral carbon atom. Then totally there are 4 optical isomers in the respective molecule. Usually this rule is not applicable to variety of compounds. So what are the 4 different types of isomers exhibited by this compound? 2-bromo, 3-chlorobutane. Just to concentrate here. This is CH3, this is carbon, carbon, this one is found to be CH3, it is Br, next one Cl, next one is found to be what? H, and this is H. Now another particular compound, this is CH3, this is carbon, this one is CH3, it is Br, next one is H, next one is what? H, and this is Cl. Next one compound CH3, this is carbon, it is carbon, next CH3. This one is said to be what? Br. Here I will take H, and this is Cl. Next one is found to be H. And one more isomer is possible. It is carbon. This is carbon. Next one is CH3. Okay, this is bromine. This is hydrogen. Okay. Now this is found to be. Sorry. Here you have to mention about Br and H. This is. What is this one? This one becomes the hydrogen, next one is Cl, this is hydrogen, and this is found to be Br. I'll mark these compounds as this is first one, this is second one, this one is found to be third one, and this one is fourth one. Now out of these 4 different types of isomers, all these compounds are found to be said to have chiral carbon atom. So this is the presence of chiral carbon atom in all these molecules. This is chiral carbon atom. Just I'll mention here the chiral carbon atom with asterisk sign so that you can clearly understand. Okay, right. Now when the compound is having this particular chiral carbon atom, what is the second condition to exhibit optical isomerism? Second compound to exhibit optical isomerism is that the compound should not have plane of symmetry. When you take this one plane of symmetry, this particular group contains this part contains chlorine and this part contains bromine. So the question of plane of symmetry is not possible in case of this one. Even though here hydrogen is present, but this part contains 2 different halogen atoms. So this compound does not have plane of symmetry or center of symmetry. So this compound 1, 2, 3, 4 are the 4 important isomers exhibited by this, or these are the 4 optical isomers exhibited by 2-bromo, 3-chlorobutane. Then what is the relationship we can observe between 1, 2, 3, 4? If you are observing these particular compounds, now if you place a particular mirror between first and second one, mirror. Now the second compound is the mirror image of the first one. You can observe second compound is the mirror image of this one. And similarly, if you observe third and fourth also, found to be mirror image. So these 2 set of compounds are called as non-superimposable mirror images. When any compound which are non-superimposable mirror images, then those compounds are referred to be as enantiomers. What are enantiomers? Enantiomers are the compounds which are non-superimposable mirror images. 1 and 2 are found to be enantiomers, and 3 and 4 are also said to be enantiomer compounds. Then what is the relationship between? Example for this particular category is found to be first and second one. Next one is found to be third and fourth one. This set of compounds are found to be mirror images of each other, non-superimposable mirror images of each other. Hence, those pair of compounds are definitely called as what? The enantiomers. Then, what is the relationship you are going to be observing between 1 and 3, next one 2 and 4, after that 1 and 4, next one 2 and 3. Those set of compounds are found to be not mirror images of each other. Hence, those set of compounds are commonly called as diastereomers. Diastereomers. What are diastereomers? Here, the best example for diastereomer is found to be which set of compounds are diastereomers? 1 and 3 are diastereomers. Next, 2 and 4 are diastereomers. Fine. Probably Getting the point. 1 and 3 are diastereomers which are not mirror images of each other. 2 and 4. Next one is going to be what? 1 and 4 are also diastereomers. Next 2 and 3 are also going to be diastereomers. The particular optical isomers which are not mirror images of each other are generally called as diastereomer compounds. So this is the best example containing two chiral carbon atom which shows four different types of isomers. Fine. Now we come across with one important aspect here, that is the presence of meso compounds. What is the meaning of meso compounds here? Presence of meso compounds. Meso compounds refers to, already I have mentioned, presence of chirality is not the alone condition to exhibit optical isomerism. If the compound contains chiral carbon atom, then we cannot say that the compound is said to exhibit optical isomerism. In addition to first condition, already I have mentioned, second condition also must be satisfied. Suppose if we go with one simple example, very common example, that is COOH, right? CH, this is CH and COOH. This is OH and this is also OH. What are the functional group present in that molecule? Functional group present in this molecule is going to be, principal functional group is carboxylic acid, and in addition to that OH group is also present. Now this compound is having totally 4 carbon atoms. So what is the IUPAC name of this compound? 2,3 dihydroxy 2,3 dihydroxy butane. Okay, butane. 1,4 dioic acid. Why it is 2,3 dihydroxy? Second and third position OH group is present. OH becomes hydroxy in presence of carboxylic acid, you know very well. But is because total chain contain 4 carbon atom. Ane is because of single bond. 1,4 dioic acid is because on first and fourth carbon atom there are carboxylic acid. You know suffix of carboxylic acid group is oic acid. Now this is the compound of 2,3 dihydroxy butane 1,4 dioic acid. Right. What is the total number of carbon atoms in this compound? There are 4 carbon atoms are there. Out of 4, how many are chiral in nature? This carbon atom is not a chiral. This carbon atom is not chiral. This is chiral carbon atom and this is chiral carbon atom. 2 chiral carbon atoms are present. When the compound is having 2 chiral carbon atoms, then how many isomers are possible? Just we have mentioned about this example. When the compound has got 2 chiral carbon atom, total number of isomers are found to be 4. But it is not possible with respect to that compound. Why it is does not exhibiting 4 different types of isomers? Just you concentrate here. This is COOH. Next one. This one is found to be COOH here. Right? This is OH. This is found to be OH. It is H and it is H, right? Same structure I have mentioned here. Now if you are observing very clearly, this compound, no doubt it has got 2 chiral carbon atoms as I mentioned earlier. Whether this compound is exhibiting the presence of plane of symmetry or center of symmetry, already I have mentioned about the what type of compounds and how to identify the presence or absence of plane of symmetry or center of symmetry. Now if you observe this particular compound here, if we cleave like this, one half is going to be exactly overlapping on another one. So this compound is said to have the plane of symmetry. Very important point. When the compound is said to have plane of symmetry, so that compound does not exhibit optical isomerism, and such compounds are called as meso compounds. What are meso compounds now? Meso compounds are the organic compounds containing 1 or more chiral carbon atom, but they exhibit optical inactivity because of the presence of plane of symmetry. So here this example very clearly proves that presence of chiral carbon atom does not shows about the optical activity. In addition to the presence of chiral carbon atom, the compound should not have plane of symmetry. In addition to chiral carbon atom, this compound is having plane of symmetry. Because of the presence of this plane of symmetry, this compound does not exhibit that optical isomerism. If you observe this one, if this compound is said to rotate in this particular direction, one half is going to be rotating in case of clockwise direction, another half of the compound rotates in anti-clockwise direction. When one half rotates in this direction and another half rotates in this particular direction, there is a total rotation, the rotation of the corresponding PPL, plane polarized light, by this molecule becomes zero. Because of that reason, this compound is said to be optically active. But on the other side, if you observe another thing, this is COOH. Next one we can write, this is COOH. Observe carefully. This is another particular molecule OH. Now this is H. This is going to be OH. This is H. What is the name of this molecule? It is also called as 2,3 dihydroxy butanoic acid, butane 1,4-dioic acid. But arrangement of those atoms or group of atoms are different in this molecule. Now if you observe this one, this becomes OH. This is H. This will be what? OH, and next one, this is H. If you observe these particular two different types of isomers, in these corresponding isomers, this is chiral carbon atom, this is chiral carbon atom, here this is chiral, this is chiral. Concentrate here. This compound has also got two chiral carbon atom, these two isomers are also got two chiral carbon atom. But this compound is optically inactive because of the presence of plane of symmetry. Whether same plane of symmetry can be observed in these two set of isomers. This plane of symmetry, it cannot cleave the molecule into two equal halves, because here OH and here H, this side H and OH is going to be there. Same thing is also observed in case of this molecule also. This particular compound does not contain plane of symmetry, does not have center of symmetry. When there is no plane of symmetry and center of symmetry, the molecule contains chiral carbon atom, those compounds are referred to be as optically active compounds. So these two are said to be optically active, and this one is going to be optically inactive compound. Optically inactive, already I have mentioned, it is optically inactive because of presence of plane of symmetry. These two are optically active because of absence of plane of symmetry or center of symmetry. When the compound has plane of symmetry, no need to go with center of symmetry. If the compound is having either plane of symmetry or center of symmetry, it is directly you can see that it is optically inactive. But here there is no plane of symmetry, there is no center of symmetry. Already I mentioned about center of symmetry also. Because of the absence of plane of symmetry or center of symmetry, so these two isomers are optically active, and this one is going to be optically inactive. If you take the mirror image of that one, what is the mirror image of this one? Mirror image of this one is also having plane of symmetry, so I did not mention about that one. Such type of compounds are called as mesocompounds. What are mesocompounds? Mesocompounds means compounds containing one or more chiral carbon atoms, but they are optically inactive. They are optically inactive due to the presence of what? Plane of symmetry or center of symmetry. So wherever such type of conditions are going to be applicable, so those molecules are generally called as what? Mesocompounds. Compounds containing one or more chiral carbon atoms, but they are optically inactive due to the presence of plane of symmetry. Here plane of symmetry is there, so optically inactive. There is no plane of symmetry or center of symmetry in those isomers, so those two isomers are going to be optically active isomers. Okay, that is the best example to mention about the mesocompounds. Okay, next, if we go with the same type of examples, one common example will come across. Most of the in examination they asked about compounds. What is the total number of chiral carbon atoms in those different types of molecules? If I mention about the compound CHO, okay, this is CH2OH, this is OH, this is H, this is H, it is OH, this is OH, this is H, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is OH, this is going to be H. What's the total number of carbon atoms in this compound? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And OH groups are also present. This is the molecule of what? Glucose. It is a molecule of glucose. Remember. What's the total number of carbon atoms? 6 carbon atoms are there. Out of 6 carbon atoms, how many carbon atoms are found to be chiral? This carbon atom never be chiral. It is an aldehyde functional group. This is C double bond of H, sp2 hybridization. It's not a chiral. This is chiral. This is chiral. This is chiral. This is chiral. Right? Here this one is chiral or alchiral. It is also not a chiral carbon atom because same hydrogen atom, 2 hydrogen atoms are present. But the compound is having 4 chiral carbon atom. This is 2 to the power of 4. What is the total number of optical isomers in case of this one? It is 16 optical isomers are possible in case of this compound. It's a molecule of what? Glucose. Similarly, if you go with another compound, this is CH2OH, this is C double bond O, this is CH and OH, next one COH and H, 1, 2, 3, 4, OH, this is H, next one CH2OH. Now this molecule is very analogous of this one. It is fructose molecule. Glucose and fructose are important carbohydrates. They are also found to be isomers having same molecular formula. This carbon atom, same 2 hydrogen atom, cannot be chiral. sp2 hybridization, no, it's not a chiral. This is chiral, this is chiral, this is chiral. What about this carbon atom? Same hydrogen atom, it is not a chiral. But the compound is having 3 chiral carbon atom. This is 2 to the power of 3. That is equal to 8 optical isomers exhibited by this molecule. So the total number of optical isomers is exhibited in case of the corresponding unsymmetrical molecule. Unsymmetrical molecule, we can say it is 2 to the power of n. This is an unsymmetric, this is also an unsymmetric molecule. Then it is having 16 optical isomers. It is having totally 8 optical isomers exhibited by this fructose molecule. Like that, it is possible to identify the number of optical isomers in case of different type of molecules. So this is about the common optical isomerism in various types of compounds. Okay. Next, after knowing about the optical isomerism, simple optical isomerism, then how to indicate the presence of three important things. Retention of configuration, first one. Next one, inversion of configuration. Retention, inversion and racemic mixture. Retention, inversion and racemic mixture. What is the meaning of retention, inversion as well as racemic mixture? Here, this is very important point as far as this topic haloalkane and haloarine is considered, because in case of SN1 and SN2 reactions, we come across with retention as well as inversion of configuration. Suppose if I go with one molecule, this is carbon. Here there is a presence of methyl group is there, methyl group. This is having one group, this is Y group. It is said to, if you are representing dash and wedge structure, so this is hydrogen and this is ethyl group, this is ethyl group, and here at this position there is a presence of one group, that is X. X does not clearly, it is not compulsorily halogen, but totally one group is there, that is commonly called as X. In the course of chemical reaction, now this is a carbon atom which is bonded to 4 different groups. CS3 is there, hydrogen is present, C2H5 is there, and this is X. All the 4 group of atoms are found to be different. So this carbon atom is what? Chiral carbon atom or asymmetric carbon atom. Already in class 11th in the GOC topic, I have said about dash and wedge structure. Here these 2 groups are present in the plane, and this group is going to be towards the observer, and this group is present exactly opposite to this one. It is behind the plane, it is above the plane, that what it is towards the observer, this one is going to be away from the observer. In the course of chemical reaction, in this particular reaction, if X group is replaced by Y, So y is going to be added here. Y is going to replace the corresponding x. When y is replacing the corresponding x molecule or x atom, then the configuration, this is CH3. Okay. Now this is C2H5 group. It is C2H5 group. Next, this is the group that is found to be what? Hydrogen. Now here this X is replaced by which group? X is replaced by the atom or the particular molecule, that is Y. Now what is the observation in case of this reaction? Simply without changing the configuration, X is replacing the Y is replacing the corresponding X. Without changing the configuration of the respective molecule. Now if I go with another particular on the same molecule, one more type of reaction is going to be there. What is that type of the reaction? Here also, in this reaction also, X will be replaced by the same Y atom. When X is replaced by the corresponding Y atom, this is carbon atom, okay? This is methyl group, right? When this is methyl group, this one group becomes what? It is found to be C2H5, alright, C2H5, carbon is bonded to this one. Next one, this becomes the corresponding what? The hydrogen. This becomes the corresponding hydrogen, and this particular group that is replacing that X by corresponding Y is present over here. Now if you observe these two set of reaction on the asymmetric carbon atom, what type of changes are observed in that molecule? What type of changes are observed in that particular molecule? This is the carbon atom. Here also same asymmetric carbon atom. Here also asymmetric carbon atom is present. Now in case of the first transformation, X is going to be replaced by the corresponding Y. In place of X, there is an accumulation of Y takes place, whereas the position of other atoms or group of atoms remains the same. So this type of configuration is generally called as retention of configuration. Wherever such type of arrangement takes place without changing the other position of other atoms or group of atoms, it is commonly called as retention of configuration. In SN1 and SN2 mechanism, we will come across with this type of retention of configuration. Now if you observe this particular structure, here I will consider this one as A, molecule A is produced and here molecule B is produced. So what is the observation in case of this one? No doubt Y is replacing the corresponding X from this molecule. After replacing Y, the total spatial arrangement of atoms or group of atoms over this carbon atom completely changes. Here H and H is going to be below the behind the plane, and C2H5 is going to be towards the observer. This one CS3 is going to be present. But if you observe this one, this structure is not very similar to this one, and such type of configuration is called as inversion of configuration. Inversion of configuration. Find the difference between retention of configuration and inversion of configuration. Retention of configuration is generally called as preservation of. Retention of configuration is referred to as preservation of integrity. Preservation of integrity of atoms or group of atoms around the asymmetric carbon atom during the course of chemical reaction. Only X is going to be replaced by the Y, but position of other different types of atoms or group of atoms remains the same. And this particular configuration is generally called as retention of configuration. But in case of inversion, what happens? When X is replaced by corresponding Y, the position of the atoms or group of atom does not remain same, it gets completely changed. Here in case of inversion, there is no preservation of integrity, but there is a preservation of integrity. Means what? Integrity refers to arrangement of atoms or group of atom that remains same here, but here it completely changes. Wherever the spatial arrangement of atoms or group of atoms over the asymmetric carbon atom changes, it is generally called as inversion of configuration. So in some set of chemical reaction there is a retention of configuration, in some set of chemical reaction there is an inversion of configuration. But in some cases, whenever the molecule undergoes chemical change, whenever this same molecule undergoes chemical change, In addition to the formation of A as well as B, there is a possibility of formation of both A and B. Both A and B is going to be produced. Wherever there is a possibility of both A and as well as B, that particular mixture is commonly called as racemic mixture. That mixture is commonly called as what? Racemic mixture. Racemic mixture contains equimolar proportion of retention of configuration as well as this particular inversion of configuration. Wherever there is a formation of 50% of retention and 50% of inversion, generally that mixture is corresponds to what? A racemic mixture. In some cases there is a retention of configuration, in some cases there is an inversion of configuration, in some cases even there is a possibility of what? A racemic mixture also takes place. What is this racemic mixture? It is an equimolar proportion of this retention and inversion of configuration is generally called as this particular racemic mixture. And remember, this particular racemic mixture is said to be optically active or inactive? Optically inactive. Why it is found to be optically inactive? If one half of the that is 50% of the compound, if it rotates in clockwise direction, another 50% rotates in anti-clockwise direction. As a result, the total rotation of PPL by this mixture becomes 0. So it is found to be optically inactive in nature. So this is, and what is the observation between A as well as B? So A and B, what is the relation between corresponding A molecule and B molecule? Here A and B are both isomers. A and B are the compounds are found to be non-superimposable mirror images of each other. When the compounds are non-superimposable mirror images of each other, then what is the name given to that particular isomers? Those are called as enantiomers. Already I mentioned about this one. What are enantiomers? Enantiomers are nothing but they are going to be optically active compound which are non-superimposable. Now in between this one, after this compound, if you place a mirror, this compound exactly looks like this particular compound. So these two are found to be non-superimposable mirror images of each other. Hence compound A and B are found to be what? Enantiomers. So retention of configuration under what condition takes place? When it is said to be retention, when it is said to be inversion of configuration, and when it is called as racemic mixture. Once again, retention is nothing but one particular atom or group of atom is replaced by another atom or group of atom without changing the spatial arrangement of other atom. It is called as retention. Retention refers to other atoms are going to be, position is going to be retained as it is. Wherever the retention in the position of atoms and group of atom, it is commonly called as retention of configuration. When it is called as inversion, inversion is going to be the one where the corresponding molecule identity or the spatial arrangement of atoms or group of atom completely changes from the base molecule, then it is commonly called as what? Inversion of configuration. If you take the umbrella, in case of this particular umbrella, so this is an umbrella is going to be there. Okay, in this corresponding umbrella, there is number of spokes will be there. When it is going to be in inverted position, what happens? It looks almost like this one. So this particular configuration is generally referred to be as inversion of configuration. Now the similarity between these two, this is going to be the base molecule and this one is going to be inverted configuration. So this is commonly called as inversion of configuration. And in any particular chemical reaction, if both retention as well as inversion takes place, that mixture is commonly referred to be as racemic mixture. Racemic mixture is going to be optically inactive because one compound, that is retention of configuration, if it rotates in case of clockwise, this one mirror image rotates PPL in case of anti-clockwise. As a result, optical activity is going to be not observed. The compound is said to be optically inactive compound. So this is about retention, inversion as well as what? Racemic mixture of the respective compound. Here I have mentioned about by taking the one common example which is going to be mentioned in case of NCERT, right? So this is about very important point, retention, inversion and racemic mixture. After this one, at the time of discussion of SN1 and SN2 mechanism, we'll come across the retention and inversion. Just I'll mention about retention, when it is called as retention, when it is going to be called as inversion. Already I have explained, so it will not be repeated in case of SN1 and SN2 mechanisms. Fine. Next, after this particular retention and inversion of configuration, another important thing which we come across in case of SN1 and SN2 mechanism. After this retention, inversion and racemic mixture, another important thing we come across in case of that SN1 and SN2 mechanism, even though it is not mentioned in case of NCERT, but it is mandatory for competitive examination, that is R and S configuration. That is stereochemistry of organic compounds, R and S configuration. How to identify the isomers? Generally it is not possible to identify D and L isomer after seeing a particular compound, but after knowing a structure of a particular compound, it is possible to identify the isomer as R isomer or S isomer. R refers to, here it is commonly called as rectus. Rectus refers to it is right side, and S refers to it is commonly called as sinister. Sinister refers to what? It is left side. So when the complete configuration is called as R isomer and when it is commonly known as S isomer. So this is applicable for different atoms present on the asymmetric carbon atom. If I go with some simple example, so before going to example, the particular nomenclature of R and S configuration is based on CIP rules. CIP rules. What is the CIP rule? It is Kahn, Ingold and Prelog rules. With the help of Kahn, Ingold and Prelog rules, it is possible to identify the compound as R isomer or S isomer. In case of this one, first we have to go with the priority order. That is very, very important. Priority order of atoms or group of atoms. Priority order is completely based upon this order is based on atomic number. It is based on atomic number of atom attached to carbon atom, that is asymmetric carbon atom. How to identify this particular atom or the substance which is having highest atomic number? We must give highest priority. Suppose if we go with one example here, very simple example I will consider. This is CH3, this one is OH, this one is H, and here I will go with another one atom, that is Cl. This one is going to be Cl. Now in case of this molecule, first atom connected to this asymmetric atom is going to be carbon, here hydrogen, here oxygen, here chlorine. Here carbon atomic number is equal to 6, oxygen atomic number is equal to 8, hydrogen atomic number is equal to 1. What's the atomic number of chlorine? Chlorine atomic number is equal to 70. Which atom has got highest atomic number? Here chlorine has got highest atomic number, so this one should be numbered as 1 of highest priority. Next atomic number with respect to oxygen atom, so this one is referred to be as number 2. Next one is going to be carbon. This is the carbon. No need to go with second carbon and second atom or group of atom. Only first carbon atom. Then suppose if in some molecule if first carbon atom, first atom is going to be same, then you have to go with second atom. But here first atoms in all these groups is going to be different, so that condition is not applicable here. This is first priority, second priority, this is going to be third priority, and this is fourth priority. In case of this molecule, when four different atoms or group of atoms are present having different priority, which is the atom with highest priority? Chlorine. Second priority is OH group, third priority is CH3, next priority is going to be H. It is based upon the atomic number of the atom attached to this asymmetric carbon atom. Now if you observe this particular molecule very carefully, from first to corresponding second group, second to corresponding third group, first to two to corresponding three, how we are going to be moving? Our eye is moving in this particular direction. That is, whether it is going to be moving in case of clockwise or anti-clockwise, it is moving in case of clockwise direction. If the moment of eye takes place in case of clockwise direction, then that particular configuration is, that isomer is called as R isomer. If the moment of I from first to 2 to corresponding 3 takes place in case of clockwise direction, that particular isomer is referred to be as R isomer. This is going to be an example for R isomer. If the moment of the particular I in case of clockwise direction takes place from first to second priority group, second to third, it is commonly called as R. In any particular molecule, if the moment of I takes place from first to second and second to corresponding third one, in case of anti-clockwise direction, then that isomer is referred to be as S isomer. So clockwise direction, if it is going to be moving, then it is called as R isomer. If it is going to be rotating in case of anti-clockwise, it is commonly called as S isomer. One important thing you have to remember here, it is not always in case of this one clockwise or an anti-clockwise. This condition is applicable whenever the lowest priority group is present in vertical position. Which is the lowest priority group out of these four groups? Hydrogen. Hydrogen is present in vertical position. In that case, this particular condition is applicable very clearly. So this is one simple example. Probably with the help of this single example, it is not possible to identify very clearly R and S. I have to go with some number of examples. Now if I go with another particular compound, this is a molecule, this is OH, right? This is hydrogen. Next one, this is CH3, and this is going to be CH3 and CH. That is C2H5. C2H. This group is also going to be referred to as C2H5. C2H5. Now in case of this one, carbon is attached, here carbon is attached, here oxygen is present, here hydrogen is present. First priority should be given to this one because atomic number of oxygen is 8. Atomic number of these two carbon atom is going to be 6 itself. So we'll come to that one. Now this is going to be connected to only one carbon atom. This is going to be hydrogen, this is hydrogen, this is hydrogen. Here it is connected to 2, this is CH3 and this one is going to be CH2. Now this is going to be connected. Now here carbon is connected to only hydrogen atom, but here carbon is connected to another one carbon atom. When a carbon is connected to another one carbon atom, this group becomes a second priority. First priority is no doubt this one because atomic number is highest. Second priority, first atom is carbon, here also first atom is carbon, but here carbon is connected to hydrogen of lowest priority, here carbon is connected to another carbon atom, so it is having second priority, this becomes third priority, this one becomes what? Fourth priority. Now in this particular molecule, lowest priority group is present below the plane, that is in vertical position. Here in case of this one, the particular direction is going to be moving in this particular case, whether it is clockwise or anti-clockwise. The moment of this one takes place in case of anti-clockwise. When it is going to be in anti-clockwise direction, this isomer is referred to be as what? S isomer. Very simple. 1, 2, 3. First it is very clearly how to understand about this particular fixing the priority position. First priority, second priority, third priority, fourth priority purely depends upon the atomic number. If atoms, first atom is going to be same on any of the two different groups, in that case by leaving the first atom, you have to go with the second atom. Here second atom is hydrogen, here second atom is carbon atom. So for that purpose, you have to consider this one as the highest priority. Next one is going to be that particular methyl group. So this isomer is referred to be as S isomer. So first example we come across with R isomer. Next one is going to be what? The S isomer. Now in case of in previous examination also they have given some questions based upon R and S configuration also. Third example I will consider here. Third example, this is one molecule. This group is COOH, right? This group is found to be CH3. Next, this group is going to be OH. This one is going to be CO. Concentrate here very carefully. What is the first atom which is connected to this carbon atom? Here chlorine is there, here oxygen is there, here carbon is there, here carbon is there. Carbon atomic number is 6, oxygen is having 8, chlorine is having 17. So this will be of highest priority. Second priority goes to oxygen because atomic number is 8, which is more than that of this carbon. Here it is connected to carbon. Here also it is connected to carbon. In both the cases, first atom is carbon. If first atom is going to be carbon, go with second atom. Second atom is connected to oxygen. Here it is going to be hydrogen. Naturally, this becomes next priority, and this one is of lowest priority. Got my point? This is first one because highest atomic number. This is second one. Next, the highest atomic number. Here both the atoms are found to be carbon, but it is connected to hydrogen. It is connected to oxygen. So this will be a third priority, and this is going to be a fourth priority. That is the lowest priority. Now you observe this particular molecule. How the movement takes place. This is from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. It takes place in case of anti-clockwise. When it is found to be anti-clockwise direction, this particular isomer is referred to be as S isomer. Fine. So here moment is going to be taking place from first to second one, second to third one. That is going to be in case of anti-clockwise direction. It is commonly called as S isomer. Another example. This is carbon. This is OH. This is OH. And next one is going to be another one group we will consider. This one is C2H5. Ethyl group is there. And here this one will be what another atom we will consider. This is we consider this one as hydrogen itself, and here this is going to be deuterium, D. What is the order of priority in case of isotopes? Hydrogen and deuterium, rhodium and deuterium are going to be isotopes. In case of this one, the order of priority is going to be followed like this. It all depends upon if atomic numbers are found to be same, then we have to think about atomic mass. Here, these are the three isotopes of hydrogen, deuterium and tritium. So here this is having highest atomic mass, it is having lowest atomic mass. Order of priority in case of this one is going to be same. Even in case of oxygen, this is oxygen, this is oxygen. In case of this one, it is going to be 18, it is 17, this is going to be 16. Atomic number is going to be what? This is 8, this is 8 and this is 8. So order of priority is going to be followed based upon its atomic mass. Because mass number is going to be found to be different, but atomic numbers are found to be same. The particular species having highest mass number, that is going to be having highest priority, no doubt. This is our first priority here, very clear. Oxygen has atomic number of 8. Next one is going to be carbon is there. This is of second priority. This is between deuterium and hydrogen. This is of third priority, and this is of fourth priority. How the movement takes place and what is the configuration related to this molecule, whether it shows R configuration or S configuration. So this one is going to be rotates in this particular direction. It is going to be in clockwise or anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. Again, this isomer is also be referred to as S isomer. It is S. This one is S. This one is S. This one is going to be R. So like that, we come across with a number of example to designate S isomer or corresponding R isomer. Now in the next class, we will discuss about some of the other different types of compounds. Considering some typical groups, presence of this one, this is molecule, it is CH double bond CH2, this is going to be C triple bond CH, okay, and this one is going to be OH and this is going to be H. So what is the configuration related to this molecule? Why I have took this example means here also first atom carbon, but it is connected to next atom is carbon, but it is having triple bond, it is having double bond. Then what is the order of priority in case of these two atoms or group of atoms? And also we have to discuss about R and S configuration in case of compounds containing more than one asymmetric carbon atom. Here in all these examples there is a presence of only one asymmetric carbon atom, but in examination they may ask the questions related to molecules containing 2 or 3 different types of chiral carbon atom. In the next class we will discuss about the assigning the configuration of R and S for those different types of higher molecules also. So try to solve more and more number of questions based upon your present different types of notes may be there or different material may be there. You will come across with a number of compounds. So try to identify the compound as R and S configuration. Definitely it will be helpful for your examinations. Okay. After completion of remaining compounds as R and S configuration, afterwards we will continue with SN1 and SN2. Next one is going to be elimination reactions, and after that we will come across with next set of reaction, that is reaction of haloalkanes and halorines with various types of metals. Okay. Thank you.